Hello, you are listening to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. Your host, Erica Saccoccio, invites you to join her community of passionate and inspiring leaders in the ECE field, where she discusses, reflects, and shares the best ways to invest in our children, families, teachers, and community. Because after all, we know they are the heartbeat of any successful program.
Hey guys, it's Erica Saccoccio here. I am so excited you tuned in today. I want to say thank you so very much. We have a great episode today with my future son-in-law, Mr. Shaye. You've heard me make reference to Mr. Shaye many times on several different episodes. The reason I wanted to invite him on the show, and he's never been on a podcast, so excuse him if he's a little bit nervous. He's also pretty young. He's in his 20s. Well, how old are you, Shaye?
25.
He's 25. So he's pretty young, never been on a podcast. But I thought it would be interesting to have him be on the show because I know I've talked about the topic of having male educators and the importance of male educators in our programs. And I know that there is a little hesitation or pushback for some of parents and some childcare owners. I'm hoping that maybe as we continue to talk about this topic, you might change your mind. I know that we had an interview with Dr. Calvin Moore last week from the Council of Professional Recognition, aka they run the CDA program, and we talked about this topic a little bit as well. I feel like it's so important to have male educators for role models in our program. They also bring a little something different to the dynamic of classrooms and in your school, to be quite honest. And I speak from experience. I have several male educators in my early learning centers and also my school age programs. And so I just thought it'd be something good to talk about. Now, Shaye is the total opposite of Dr. Calvin Moore. Shaye is young. He is new to the field. He certainly is definitely green and is not going to speak at the level of Dr. Moore for sure. But nonetheless, we talk about struggling with finding staff, but we're also not open-minded. And when we talk about diversity, I think it's important to look at many factors when you're putting together your A team. And Shaye definitely is part of my A team. I have to tell you, he is literally like one of the kids' favorite teachers. He's super fun. He's kind of like a kid himself with his Nickelodeon jackets and and sense of fashion style that is unlike any other. But so I wanted to talk a little bit about it today. It won't be a super long episode, but I just thought, let's continue the conversation about why it's important to have male role models in our program. So welcome to the show.
Hi guys, how we doing today?
So can you just tell folks a little bit of how you ended up here? How did you end up working with kids?
Well, during the pandemic, I started off as auxiliary, helping clean, keep up with all the, pandemic checklist things. And then I thought to myself that I wanted to go higher than that. I wanted to go to the early learning center and actually learn to teach kids. I feel like there's not enough male role models for them around there, and I feel like, I could be a help over there.
Yeah. So one of the things that I noticed right away is not so much at the school age program because we had a lot of male educators there. But when we brought you over to the preschool program, you were the only male teacher there at that time. Certainly not the only male teacher we've ever had because we did have Mr. Will, who was certainly much older than you and certainly a much more experienced educator. But he had been with us for years. But the dynamic instantly changed, which was interesting. So it was an observation. But the kids were very excited, and Mr. Shaye could pretty much lay out any activity, and the kids would want to do it. Activities that maybe kids wouldn't want to do, perhaps if a different teacher had rolled it out. So they just really loved being around you, around your energy. You play a lot in the playground with the kids for sure.
I'm pretty much one of them when I'm out there with them, and they love it. I play any type of game. They want to play in the kitchen area. They're making me a sandwich.
I saw. So one day, this is so funny. One day I was watching Shaye on the camera, and I wasn't sure what he was doing because it kind of looked like he was talking to himself. And then I realized he was eating he was pretending to eat plastic food that one of the children was teaching him, but it looked very funny on camera. But, he really just was in there like you see the memes there of the dads at the tea party. This guy is at the tea party, and the kids get so excited. So what qualities do you believe make a male educator fun and engaging?
Definitely being energetic and keeping up with the kids. Fun, loving, nurturing. I mean, I feel like those are the qualities that I have and that outshine the rest of them. Yeah, and definitely being youthful helps.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we are going up to Texas.
Yes.
We are going to, Shaye is going to be my sidekick. We are going up to the Born to Teach conference in Houston, Texas, run by Latrice, aka Childcare chick, who's also been on our show. If you haven't checked out her episode, you should definitely do that. I wonder, how many male educators do you think we're going to find there?
I'm hoping quite a bit, but I don't think there's going to be many. I don't think so. Well, who knows?
So you're going to be out there representing Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm glad my voice is going to be heard. Mm-hmm.
So Shaye is going to go to some of the keynotes, and maybe we'll probably get him into a breakout session or two. I think that what is unique is also his perspective. So when you ask a group of ladies, anywhere from ages 25 to 60, sometimes his voice in collaborating with others brings definitely a different perspective. What do you think the biggest challenge has been for you working with kids?
Well, with the younger ones, gaining the parents' trust. It took a little bit, but they're on board. They love me now. And then the kids, I made the mistake of acting like their friend, and they absolutely love me way too much. I got to be a little bit more sterner with that.
Yeah, because it's hard to make that distinction, right?
Yes.
You're the guy who's just playing kickball in the yard, now you're telling them to...
Yeah, it's hard for them to switch on to like, okay, we got to sit down. We got to...
Yeah, it's time to calm down. Yeah.
But other than that, I've learned everything else pretty quickly.
Yeah. Do you feel like the other staff warmed up to you quickly, or
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was quicker than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah. Okay. So what advice do you have to maybe another young fellow who might be listening to the show who's thinking about entering the field or is in the field and just started? What advice do you have?
Well, if you're thinking about it, do it. It's going to be a great experience. And if you're in the field and you're having any doubts, just keep doing it. You're doing great.
Yeah. How do you feel like, so you and Haley are about ready to foster a child?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a great chapter in my life.
Yeah. So how do you feel like working with children for the last 3 years has prepared you?
Definitely prepared me a lot. I've learned so many new things that I wouldn't have learned if I wasn't in this field. I feel like I can actually help teach my kid. If I wasn't in this career, I would definitely be struggling with the education part of being a parent. Yeah, it's giving me a lot of skills, social skills. I can communicate better with children now. Yeah. Yeah,
and health and safety too, right? Taking first aid, CPR, really understanding allergies, what to do in safety emergencies. So, yeah, there is a lot of transferable skills that help you also become a great parent, right? Yeah. So how do you feel like our program has supported you in terms of your growth?
Well, first of all, this whole My Center it's like a big family. If I need help, they're willing to help, no problem. If I'm stuck on something, they come over and help me.
What about professionally? Like, as you had said, you wanted to grow up through the ladders. So you're working on doing what? Getting your
my ITERs and my
ECHRs. Yeah. So you're getting ready to take your ECHRs. So the class that you work in is kind of like what we call a transition room. So they may have some older toddlers who are just about pre-K and then really young pre-K. So we typically recommend that they have a good understanding of the ECHRs and the ITERs so they can set up their classroom correctly. Also, Shaye's getting ready to put together a portfolio for his CDA. So he's been working on that and taking his PD and putting that together. So I wonder how many male CDA candidates there are. That's probably even slimmer than the number of...
Well, we got to get them up there.
Yes, we do. We do. So thank you so much, Shaye, for being such a great help. on the show. I feel like for those of you who are listening and you haven't hired a male staff person yet, please consider it. I promise you the kids will be ecstatic. Your team will take to them immediately. And there's some things, I'm not going to stereotype, but I might a little bit. There are some things that Shaye has helped me with that typically I wouldn't ask other folks to do. He helped, like he said, he helps with some maintenance around the school. He's pretty handy with a screwdriver. You know, he can help lift things that are a little bit heavier for some of the older ladies. He's certainly much taller than me, so he can reach the top shelves. But no, just really overall, he just brings a lot of fun and laughter and joy to the program, not just to the kids, but to the adults. And like you said, the parents absolutely love him and adore him. Yes, anytime that you hire a male staff person at the beginning, you might get some questions. Really, it's really just more questions. But if your program's anything like my program, I have so many dads that come to our program that pick up and drop off now. Dads are so involved. The culture has changed. Childcare settings are a place for both moms, dads, all guardians, all adults that care about children, regardless of age, sex, race, religion, etc., as it should be. We talk about diversity, then walk the walk, right? It's more than just having a poster of a woman construction worker, right? We want children to see themselves in different careers and different roles. And so we want them to be able to see males in early childhood centers. It's important. So you have to walk the walk, guys. I know it's a little scary, you know, you might get a little pushback, but hire the right people. And of course, do all your due diligence like you would with any employee. Make sure you do all of your background checks and, you know, education checks and reference checks and all the things that you would do with any other employee. But I'm telling you right now, expand your horizons and hire a male educator today. So that's it for today's episode. As always, I'd like to remind you, it is the small details that make a big impact on the success of your childcare business. This is Erica signing off. I hope you have a great day and hope you enjoyed today's episode. Bye.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.